Hey everybody, come on in. Welcome to day 3. Okay, day 3, the clean out. I'll give y'all a second to get on in here. They're notifying people that I'm live. Come on in. Day 3 of this 7-day journey. Come on in. It's hard for me to show y'all this. Oh, so funny. Hey y'all, welcome on in. I'm gonna give everybody like a few minutes to get in here and then we'll get started. Today is day 3 of this series where I don't have the words up today, but I'm teaching the 7-day series all about how to step out of survival mode and into your divine feminine energy so that you can live a softer, sweeter life full of more thriving. Let me know if y'all can hear me because I thought I was gonna be home, but I'm still at this pool party. But I want to make sure you can hear me and that I don't need to get some sort of microphone. Welcome on in. I'm gonna get started in a moment. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Oh, it's so hot out here. Let me see if I can move around. Hold on. I wonder if you can see. No, that's not. I can't see the screen. Give me a second, y'all. How can I sit so you can see me a little bit better? I'm just gonna have to make it work from here. Okay, come on in. I'm gonna get started in just a moment. Can y'all hear me? I'm outside. I thought I was gonna be home by now, but I have to teach class from here. Let me know if y'all can hear me because I don't have a mic. Somebody let me know. Can you hear me? Hey, Lauren. Hey, Miss Crystal. Okay, good. You can hear me. Okay, well, let's get started. We'll give people a chance to come on in when they come on in, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay. It's really also hard because I can't see myself and I'm facing the sun, so whatevs. Okay, so today, can I shrink myself? Darn, I cannot shrink myself. Let's see if you can see it. Today, we're going to talk about this. How can you see it? Oh my God. We're going to talk about the chart of consciousness. Can y'all see that there? Okay. This is the chart of consciousness. It's one of my favorite charts that I talk about. And it's all about the range of vibrational frequencies from lowest to highest, starting with shame at the bottom to enlightenment at the very top. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Today is day 3 of this 7-day series where I'm talking about how to get out of survival mode and step into your divine feminine energy. And today's lesson is entitled The Clean Out. Okay? Cleaning out your stuck energy. Remember, day 1 was energetic fundamentals. Day 2 was your problem is stuck energy. And today is the clean out. Today we talk about how to start to clear out your stuck energy so that you can rise in frequency. You can rise on this chart. Okay? My apologies, everybody. I went to this pool party today and I was going to drive home and my friend was like, no, you're not. So I'm out in the sun. I can't really even see the screen that well, but we're going to make it work. Okay? All right. Oh, hey, Maritza. Thank you. That's one of my coaches. Oh, good to see you. Good. Oh, my God. Good to see everybody. All right, so let's get started. I'm not in my regular place, so I had to write my notes on a note card today. So hopefully this little setup works. Yeah, hey, Maritza. So glad to see you. Okay, so as I said, today's class is entitled The Clean Out. I said today the goal is to unclog your field so you can rise and so you can receive a new life. Okay, let's go over some energetic fundamentals to recap and talk about why this work is important. Okay, if you're just here for the first time, my name is Falayan I am a divine feminine energy coach, and I teach high achieving women how to get out of survival mode, how to get out of their being stuck in their masculine energy and step into their divine feminine energy so that they can thrive, so that they can live softer lives. My story is that I've always been a manifestation junkie. I like to say, manifestation is my first love. It's what I've been learning about for the last 10, 15 years. And it worked really well for me. But it only took me to a point. And 6 months ago, I was at such a point where I was hitting a brick wall. Like, all the things I had been doing for years weren't working. I was at a point where I was terribly insecure, very lonely. Like I said yesterday, I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but I think it's really real. I wanted love, and not like dusty love, not crumb love, not breadcrumbs. I wanted like a great relationship with someone that really saw me and honored me. Chronic people pleaser, just all the things. I was just going through it. I was burnt out, exhausted, living paycheck to paycheck. And Spirit got the message to me that I was out of alignment. And particularly, I was out of alignment with my divine feminine energy, which I really didn't know much about at the time. And so I'm wise enough to know that when I get a message, I listen to the message. So I started learning all about divine feminine energy. And 6 months later, my life is completely different. So all that to say, divine feminine energy is the key to getting to your next level. A lot of us think that we have to hustle harder, push, chase, do to get to the next level. But getting to the next level really is a function of how much you can get in alignment with your divine feminine energy. God has a whole life waiting for you that God wants you to be living as a woman. It's softer, it's sweeter, there's more love, there's more money. But you will never reach those things until you get in alignment. And particularly as a woman, you've got to get into alignment with your divine feminine energy. The old rules on this planet, you could hustle, you could push, you could get a second job, you could be more disciplined. But the new rules on this planet are that, we're living in the Aquarian age. We're living in the dawning of the age of the divine feminine. The new rules on this earth are that as a woman, you're going to have to do this alignment, or you can struggle. Okay, so that's why we're here. Let me get started with today's lesson. Oh, thanks, Marissa. Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, so going to my note cards. Let's get started. I told y'all I went to this pool party and I was gonna drive home, and then my friend was like, "No, you're not." So here I am making the best out of the situation. So hopefully we'll be able to see my little chart today. I promise y'all we'd go over the chart of consciousness today, so we'll get into it in a moment. All right, one more time. The title of today's class is The Clean Out. Unclog your field so that you can rise and receive. I said that we must clear out the subconscious mind to receive the new. Day 1, we talked about energetic fundamentals, which I'm going to recap in a moment. And then yesterday, day 2, we talked about the fact that your problem is stuck energy. It's we are walking, talking magnetic energy fields, right? We are, at any point in time, we are beeping a signal out into the universe. That signal, whether it's high frequency or low frequency, is going out into the universe, and it's attracting back things of a like nature. So if you are living in low frequency emotions, low frequency states, your signal is going out into the world, beep, 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 and it's bringing back low frequency people, low frequency experiences, low frequency relationships, friendships, men, low frequency money. You're going to make less money. It's going to be harder. On the other hand, if you are beeping a high frequency signal out into the universe, that high frequency signal is attracting things of a like nature. High frequency relationships, high frequency friendships, high frequency money, more money with less work. It's attracting all things of a like nature. So our goal is to clear up that stuck energy that we talked about yesterday that's keeping your frequency low. Yesterday we talked about all sorts of a variety of things that may be keeping you low. If you guys remember, we're going to go back to my metaphor that I said yesterday. Oh my God, it's so hot. The metaphor that I said yesterday was all the open tabs on your browser, right? I told y'all that I have this bad habit of having a bunch of tabs open on my computer browser, right? And the issue with that is that when we have all those tabs open, it slows down the processor, it slows down the speed, things don't load properly, things don't work right. And you're humans, but we're divine technology, and we work a lot of the same way. So when you are walking around with all these fear responses, and you don't have a healthy morning routine, and you have trauma and anger left over from childhood, and you have inner child wounds, and you have grief that you haven't processed, and you have unforgiveness, and you're living in shame because you haven't forgiven yourself for certain things. All that stuff are just open tabs on your browser, and if you keep them open, they're dragging your frequency down. They're keeping you from manifesting the life that you truly deserve. They are slowing down your system. They're preventing you from manifesting what you've been praying for. So our goal is to help to clear out that stuck energy, and that's where we get into today. So, recap of energetic fundamentals, which you really need to know. I don't have those notes, so we're going to riff it from recap of energetic fundamentals, which you really need to know. I don't have those notes, so we're going to riff it from here. Okay, so energetic fundamentals. Number 1, life is a mirror. Your life, whatever you see out in your 3D reality, it's only a reflection of your inner energy, your interior space. It's only a reflection of your inner energy. I told you all yesterday that most people, when they're trying to change their lives, they work on rearranging things on the outside, right? They start a new gym membership, eat better, start to budget their money, when in fact, the fastest, quickest, most potent way to change your life is working with your interior energy, because whatever you're seeing on the outside and the external reality of your world is just a reflection of your inner energy, your internal energy. So if we want to change our lives, we must work with that internal energy. Another energetic fundamental secret is everything is energy, right? Everything, these pillows, this place I'm at, hair, everything in your reality is just energy vibrating at different frequencies. So if we can work on changing the frequency of the energy in your life will reflect that, and it will rise. Another one of the energetic fundamentals, I told you all, awareness is 9/10 of the law, right? Meaning awareness is most of the work. You being aware of your patterns, your triggers, we're going to talk about that more today. You being aware of your blocks, your stagnant energy, your stuck energy, what's blocking you, what's keeping you in a low frequency, you can't shift it until you're aware of it. So a lot of the work that you have to do in the beginning of this journey is become aware of what's blocking you. What are my triggers? What are my fear responses? What are my open tabs on my browser? Only then can you start to shift them. Okay? Thank y'all for the comments and the gifts. It's so sunny out here. I can barely see them, but I'm so happy to hear that it's landing. Thank you, Coach Maritza. Love you. Okay, good. All right, great. All right, so the last recap I want to say, very important. You cannot throw new programming on top of old programming. I told y'all how most of us are walking around with the same consciousness that we developed from the ages of 0 to 7. The way that we get our consciousness as human beings is through repetition. From the ages of 0 to 7, you watch your family, you watch your culture, you watch the school, you watch TV, you watch life around you, and it told you how much love you can get, how much love is safe. It told you how much money you can receive, how much money is safe. It told you how high you can go, how low you're going to be able to, you can be capped by, how beautiful you are, how desirable you are, how safe you will feel in the world. It taught you all of those things. And most of us, if we haven't done the work to change our consciousness, we're walking around with that same 0 to 7 consciousness when we're in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And our goal is to change that. But you cannot change that consciousness without first undoing the old consciousness, just like a computer system, right? You have to delete the old lines of code before you can install the new lines of code. Why? Because repetition, anything that's been in there since you've been 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just by the fact that you've been repeating it longer and longer, it's always going to win out. So we always need to unwire the old before we install the new. So our work today is going to be on uninstalling the old. Okay, so let's go to my notes. Is this making sense, y'all? Lovely. I guess so. Okay, great. All right, so the clean out. Let's unclog our field. I said we must clear out the subconscious to receive the new. We must clear out the subconscious to receive new programming, a new frequency, and an identity upgrade. You can't embody a new life while holding on to the old one. And so let's talk about energy inventory. That's the last thing I left off with yesterday's class, is taking an inventory of our energy. We are going to take a look at my chart of consciousness, if I can move around it, and take an inventory in your journals. Remember, if you're here for the first time, I told you all to bring a journal, bring some water, and bring a candle. Candle is to set the mood, but the journal, you should be writing in your journal because awareness is the first step. And water is very important because not only is water, this is a drink, but imagine this is water. Not only is water important for your physical body, but it also helps clear out your old, stagnant, stuck energy out of your energy field. So you need to be drinking your water while we do this. All right, so let's start to ask ourselves some questions. Y'all can write these in your journal. Feel free to put them in the chat if you want to share. Why is it helpful to share? Because a lot of us, we're like, how many people are in here? We're like 30, 40, 50 different people, but a lot of us have the same experiences. So if you feel compelled to put it in the chat, please do, because it helps all of us become more aware of our own stuff, to shift it. All right, so let's talk about energy inventory. And the first thing I want to talk about is your triggers. Okay, your triggers are what makes you really pissed off. Y'all know what a trigger is, right? I think everyone knows what a trigger is. Triggers are those moments where something happens and it just triggers you. It triggers the fuck out of you and you get really upset. Sometimes you don't know why. Okay, I'm triggered. Triggers are some of the most important feedback and information you can get back about the state of your consciousness. Triggers tell you where you're not free. So if you have a trigger around you always feel left out. This was one of my triggers. I always felt like people left me out of things before I did this work, because what I learned over time, it was just my energy. It was a function of me not being aligned in my divine feminine energy. But yeah, maybe you have a trigger around always feeling left out. Y'all have any triggers you want to share in the chat while I'm talking? Maybe you have a trigger around overspending, and you always find yourself in these financial messes somehow. You try to get out of them, you keep coming back, you get triggered by it. Maybe you have a trigger where you feel neglected by your boyfriend or your husband all the time. Whatever it is, whatever the trigger is, it's a wild, bright neon sign from your inner goddess telling you, this is where I am not free. Okay, so take a couple seconds. If anything comes to mind, put in your journal, what are your triggers? Okay. Next is your patterns. What are your patterns? Similar to triggers, but a little bit different. What patterns you notice that you're always falling back into? Stella said abandonment trigger. Yeah, you often feel abandoned by people, abandoned by love. Yeah, abandonment is definitely a trigger. That means if you do some digging around abandonment, you're gonna uncover gold, right? So when I talk about awareness is 9/10 law, don't just stop at, like Stella said, an abandonment trigger or my trigger around being left out. Don't stop there. When we do the digging, like today we're doing this energy inventory, and our goal is to have a lot of awareness, right? We want to dig, right? We want to dig as far as we can go. When is the first time I felt abandonment? How often do I feel this feeling? Do I abandon myself? Which is probably a lot of it's going to be that you might be abandoning yourself. Who do I feel abandoned by? Is it men? Is it women? Is it everybody? What do I do when I feel abandoned? Do I abandon other people? Do some digging, and like I said, you're going to uncover some gold. Thank you for sharing, Stella. T-Baby said abandonment in relationship. Yeah, do some digging. Abandonment is common. Shorny said trusting the judgment of others, wanting their opinion. Yep. So like you may be digging, Shorny, and be like, why do I trust the judgment of others? I gotta move myself a little. Why do I trust the judgment of others? Why don't I trust myself? Why do I think others know better than I do? Why do I want their opinion? Why don't I trust my own opinion? Stella digging, you want to feel like, why don't I trust my own opinion? Stella digging, you want to feel like you belong. Wonderful thing to understand. Okay, then keep digging. Why don't I feel like I belong? Do I not feel like I belong with everyone? Or there's certain people I do feel like I belong with? Do the digging. You're going to find gold. Okay, great job, y'all. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Okay, next, patterns. What are your patterns? Let me think of some of mine. I had patterns of like, I would always fall in the financial traps. I would always like be like, what the heck? I think I had my money like all buttoned up, and then I would have some like fiasco. Like it kept happening over and over again. It was a pattern for me with money. With love, I would have a pattern of being afraid. Like when I got close to someone, I would have a pattern of ejecting. What I discovered over time was I was afraid that they would leave when I got close and dependent on them. So I would find a way to distance myself, and I would self-sabotage sometimes good relationships. So patterns. What are your patterns? Shorny said, wow, that's it. I need to trust myself. See? Shorny, that took like 3 questions. You got it. Yeah, all you have to do is dig. You're going to get gold. And the gold, like I told y'all yesterday, awareness is 9/10 law. When you become aware of something, you've done most of the work already. So all you have to do is keep going until it's healed. And we're going to talk about ways to heal the energy once we're aware of it in today's class. Okay, so patterns. Next. Hopefully y'all came up with some patterns and some triggers. Next, this is big. What keeps my nervous system in a state of dysregulation? Y'all know that the thing that I teach and preach and say over and over and over is all about the baseline of all your work, stepping into your divine feminine energy, is signaling safety to your nervous system. So how does your nervous system feel? Why is it dysregulated? Yesterday we started talking about like survival mode. Why are you in survival mode? Why are you not regulated? Do some digging. This is the most important thing that you need to answer for yourself, because most potent area of change is going to be your nervous system, then it's your emotions, then it's your thoughts and beliefs, and only down here is your actions. So most importantly is your nervous system. If my nervous system is not regulated, if my nervous system says drama, chaos, panic, this was me, says drama, chaos, panic, if I'm in chronic anxiety, if I'm in chronic stress, if I'm in chronic overwhelm, which was my story, if I'm burnt out, if I can't rest, if I feel weird about resting, why? I want y'all to investigate. Yes, Shorny, I was always in a tizzy. Yes. Investigate. Why? We talked about this yesterday, but look at your fear responses. Likely those open tabs on your browser, right? Those fear responses that you're having, probably that come from childhood, are the reason why your nervous system is in the state that it's in now. You need to do some investigation to take your energy inventory. Why does my nervous system not feel safe? Why don't I feel safe? Why can't I rest? Okay? Very important. Next one I want you all to take an inventory about is self-worth. Okay? So I talk about the fact that at the baseline of everything is going to be your nervous system. As you move up, you know, like I'm not at home, so I can't show y'all my pyramid, but remember my pyramid from yesterday? The bottom foundation of the work that we do is working on your healing. That's what we're talking about today. The next level is working on your frequency, and the capstone of that pyramid is working on divine feminine energy. As you move up and you start working through your stuck energy, working through your frequency, the next level, a very important thing, is going to be, do I feel worthy? What is my self-concept? So I want you all to take a few seconds, journal. What's my stuck energy around worth, around my worthiness, around my self-concept? Your self-concept, obviously, is how do you see yourself in your own mind? Okay? Do you feel worthy? Start by asking yourself that question. Do you feel worthy? There's no 0 to 10, I'm a 7. It's, do you feel worthy or you don't? Do you feel good enough? Either you feel good enough or you don't. What's your answer? And then do the digging. Why do I feel not worthy? I guess if you feel worthy, you don't really need to do the journaling. But if you do not feel worthy, it's going to block a lot of the things that you want. A lot of, like when we start talking about divine feminine energy and seduction and aura and your radiance and your magnetism that draws in good men as if by magic, like you don't even gotta do much. You know, like me, like my chubby self. I told y'all how like a big part of my insecurity 6 months ago was like, I'm too fat to attract a provider. And as I did the work, I realized, oh, it's not about my weight at all. It was just my energy. My energy was fucked up. That energy, it hinges on your self-worth. So, how is your self-worth? Do a little digging. T-Baby said, I put others' needs before mine, even if I'm suffering. Yeah. Why do you do that? That's people pleasing. Why do you people please? Most people please out of fear. Everything that we're talking about, like with this energy inventory, all of it is a root of fear. It's a fear response. What are you afraid of? You're afraid of people leaving? You're afraid of people abandoning you if you don't give them what they want? What's the root of it? Yeah, Star said, I feel guilty when I rest. Yeah. Resting doesn't feel safe for you. Why? Do some digging. Thank you all for sharing your comments, by the way. It really helps. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. So next is beauty. As women, a lot of our self-worth and our vibration and our aura and our radiance is tied up in how beautiful do we think we are? How beautiful do we feel? So take some time and journal about, like, what are your beliefs around your beauty? Do you feel beautiful? Uh-oh, there's a yellow jacket around. Do you feel beautiful? Do you think you're beautiful? Do you think you're not beautiful? And why? Do some digging. Oh, why, Shelly? I'm so glad. I'm so glad. T-Baby said, I fear being abandoned. Yep. It's real. It's real. And keep digging. Why do you feel abandoned? Why are you afraid of being abandoned? Do you think you can't stand on your own 2 feet if you get abandoned? As you do the work that I've been talking about, moving up through healing, through working on your frequency, through working your self-concept, through aligning with your divine feminine energy, you're going to be enough for you. But you may not be there. That's fine. But you're going to find as you do the work, you're not going to give a fuck. Your energy is going to be enough for you. And the counterintuitive thing is that when you don't give a fuck, when your energy is enough for you, they want you. Everyone wants you. So it's funny. Okay. Star said, I'm working double at my job. Just kind of took it on because my position came to find out you got it. Oh my God. Ugh. Okay. I don't want to get stung. Let me know the rest of your sentence. Okay. Next is, another journal question I want y'all to answer. Now, we're only here for an hour. We can't go as deep as I would like to on these things, but I want you to answer this question next. What are the 3 heaviest beliefs I'm carrying about myself? What are the 3 heaviest beliefs that I'm carrying about myself? Why you think? Star said, oh, you found out you were tricked. I've been working hard trying to show them that I'm a great worker and they're just letting me go. Star, I need to follow. Let me know. Hi, Blair. We're talking about today's class. Hi, my name is Falayan. I am a divine feminine energy coach. I help high-achieving women step out of survival mode, step out of their stuck energy, step out of their masculine energy and into divine feminine energy. So today we're talking about clearing up our energetic field so we can have a higher signal and attract better everything. Remember, that signal that you're putting out into the universe, it's the same energy. So that same energy is determining the level of money that you're on. That same energy is determining what kind of relationship with men you're attracting in. It's determining what kind of friendships that you have. It's determining how easy or hard your life is. So we always want to be upping that signal. And of course, the apex, the top, the highest frequencies you're going to tune into love, ease, enlightenment, divine feminine energy, peace, rest, a soft life. So that's the goal. Okay, so that was your first question. Hopefully y'all had some awarenesses you can jot down for your own benefit. We're going to talk about how to actually work on releasing this stuff a little bit later in a little bit amount of time. But again, awareness is 9/10 of the law, right? Right. Okay, so next question is, what parts of me do I think are not good enough? What parts of me do I think are not good enough? I told you on my story how I thought I was too fat to attract high quality men. I thought I was too weird. Like this has been my hang up for most of my life. Like You know, because this is the kind of thing that I love. I love metaphysics, I love science, I love fantasy, and I always thought it was too weird or too awkward for other people. So that was one of my hang-ups. What do you think about you is not good enough? Shorny said, I'm unhappy with my marriage. I believe I need to stay because I'm in my 50s, too old to leave. That is a lie. That is a lie. Shorny, let me tell you something. It's not age, it's frequency. It's not age, it's energy. When you are vibrating in your high frequency state, you'll attract men at any age. It's about your energy, it's not about your age. But obviously you have to, take that in. But I'm here to tell you, it's about your energy, it's not about your age. Beauty is a function of life force energy, aka your prana, aka your chi, aka your aura, okay? When your life force energy, it's like a river. It sits in potentiality at the base of your spine. And if we didn't have all these blocks and all this stuck energy, that life force energy would be flowing and you would be radiant and magnetic, full of aura, shining, golden, magnetizing everything that you desired. The problem is most of us have stuck energy. Most of us have blocks, and so that life force energy doesn't flow. And you know what it's like because you look older. You feel older. You're dull. You're invisible. That was my story. I was totally invisible, not just to men, but to women too, like the friendships also. When that life force energy is not flowing, you're out of alignment and you become invisible essentially. So it's not about your age, it's about your energy. Okay. Yes, allowing things that you don't want. Yes, star. Okay, Shorny, good. Okay, great. All right, so I think I have a third question. Second was, what about yourself do you think is not good enough? And number 3 is, what about yourself do you think is not good enough? And number 3 is, what do I not allow myself to feel? We're starting to get into my favorite chart, the chart of consciousness here. What do you not allow yourself to feel? And then I'm going to do another metaphor. What do you not allow yourself to feel? Anger, grief, joy, sensuality, being turned on. What do you not allow yourself to feel? Okay, so next analogy or metaphor. I never really know which is which. Oh, I'm sweating. I'm so hot. Woof. Okay. Your feelings. Baby Cake said your feelings. Yes. Let's talk about this bad habit that humans have. As humans, we have this bad habit of when things feel bad or when things make us uncomfortable, we run away from them. When the deal is, we should embrace them. The metaphor is, imagine that you have a house and all of these emotions that we avoid, all of this lower stuff here on this scale that we're going to talk about in a second, your anger, your fear, your frustration, your trauma, all those open tabs in your browser. Every time you get one of those, instead of processing it and, shredding it and throwing it out in the garbage, you stuff that stuff up into your attic, right? So eventually over time, you're going to have an attic full of junk, broken tables, broken clocks, dirt, mess, dead bodies, right? Over time, that's going to become a problem. And that's exactly what happens in our human consciousness. Instead of embracing the things that hurt us and investigating them and having more awareness around them and processing them so they can leave our energetic field, we stuff them up into our attic. And it becomes a problem. Our energetic field becomes clogged with anger and fear and frustration and drama and trauma and hurt and shame. And we end up vibrating lower and lower and lower and lower. And it affects our whole lives because we are not vibrating on the level that we deserve. And so our lives end up shitty. So our goal is, of course, is to clear out that attic full of broken tables and junk and the dead body so that we can rise in frequency from these lower levels up into the higher levels where our lives feel juicy and we look delightful, we're beautiful, we're tapped in, life is flowing, we're attracting as if by magic. Opportunities come in, lovely men come in, great friendships come in. But until we clear this lower stuff, where's my hand? Until we clear this lower stuff, until we clear all this junk from our attic, until we close all these open tabs on our browser, we're gonna be stuck here. Where's my finger? Okay, there. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, let's talk about the chart of consciousness. How can I turn so you can see it? Dang, how do I do this? There we go. Okay, chart of consciousness. How can I like get around this? I want y'all to see the whole thing. No, I can't make myself smaller. There, that's the best I'm gonna be able to do. Okay, chart of consciousness. Everybody can see it, yes? I want you to pay attention to a couple things. First of all, we see that at the very bottom is shame. At the very top is enlightenment. I'm a nerd. I'm a super nerd. I will just tell you this. Most of you won't give a fuck, but I'm still going to tell you. So this is a logarithmic scale, which means going from shame to the next level. It's just not a step up. It's just not a step in, 10 points? I can't see because this thing is in the way. It's a logarithmic scale, meaning that jump is not just like 10 or 20 points. It's 10 to the power of 10 or 10 to the power of 20, meaning it's a huge jump. So the jump from shame to guilt is a huge jump. Okay? Shame at the very bottom vibrates the very lowest of all the human emotions. They say shame vibrates closest to the frequency of a dead body. That's why shame is so important to clear out of your system. If for any reason you're feeling ashamed, the antidote to shame is self-forgiveness. So if you're feeling shame, that's the very first thing you need to work on. Okay, so we have shame here. And then if you look in the middle, we have neutrality or neutral. Okay? Once you get over neutral, you're going to start attracting a brand new life. It doesn't have to be all the way up to enlightenment, but once you get past the level of neutral, life is going to really start to change. Between shame and neutrality, we have all sorts of things, but the thing you need to be most focused on is fear. These are fear-based emotions. At the top, of course, we have love-based emotions all the way up until enlightenment. We'll talk more about those in a second. Let's go to the other side. Woo! Oh my God, it's so hot. What I want you to see here, you see this contracted? Can you see that? Okay, contracted. When you're living in lower level frequencies, when your energetic field is vibrating and putting out that signal of a low level frequency, by divine law, your life will be contracted. What does that mean? That means you will be attracting a life that is low frequency, low level experiences. By divine law, it has to be. It will suck. So you want to get out of those lower level emotions so your life can feel expanded. When you're living in higher level emotions, remember, you just have to get past neutral. Your life will reflect it in higher level experiences, higher level people, higher level relationships, all kinds of juicy, delicious stuff. Okay, so that said, that is a chart of consciousness. By the way, this is from a book that I really love called Power versus Force. And Power versus Force talks about when we're living in lower level emotions, when we're living in survival mode, when we're living in our masculine energy down here. Where's my fingers? Damn. Down here. You have to push. Your power is force. You have to push. You have to try. You have to do everything on your own. That's why we want to get out of our masculine energy. But when you can move up into these higher level emotions, your force is a power of attraction. That's what the book is about. Shorny said, can you get a screenshot of my chart? Sure. Can you do that? Go ahead and screenshot it. But yeah, you can just look up the book, Power versus Force. So, let's work on, let's see my notes. Your energetic inventory. Got it. Okay, good, Shorny. Okay, so what I want you all to do, what I want you all to do is take an inventory of your open tabs at every level of this chart. I want you to pay specific attention, particular attention to the lower level ones, but also take some time to think about what you're doing right, where you have acceptance, where you're living in love, joy, peace, ease, divine feminine energy. But first start with the lower ones. So start with shame. So like I said, it vibrates closest to the vibration, the frequency of a dead body. And it's the one you want to clear up the fastest, the most. Where are you in shame? Start with all those open tabs on your browser. How does shame show up for you? Hopefully it doesn't show up for you at all. Shame from childhood. Shame from adulthood. Don't leave any stone unturned. When I talk about awareness is 9/10 of the law, don't leave any stone unturned. Okay? Once you start with shame, geez, y'all, it's so freaking hot out here. Once you start with shame, go to the next one. Guilt. Why are you guilty? Where are you guilty? How are you guilty? Go deep. You know, I always say do a brain dump, all my thoughts around this thing. Do a heart dump, all my feelings around this thing. Go deep. The deeper, the better. The more awareness, the better. Okay? Then you're going to go up to the next one, which is fear. Stop. Fear. Fear is such an umbrella term for so many things. Fear is at the root, like we talked about, like abandonment, people pleasing. Fear is at the root of almost every negative thing we ever do, experience. Like we talked about, like abandonment, people pleasing. Fear is at the root of almost every negative thing we ever do, experience, whatever. You're going to have fear responses that are causing your nervous system to be out of whack. You're going to have fear stuff from childhood. You're going to have fear stuff tied to poverty. I want you to brain and heart dump. All the ways that fear shows up in your life, all the ways that fear is stopping you, all the ways that your habits are tied to fear, your patterns, your triggers are tied to fear. Go deep on the fear one. Okay? So keep going up the list. The next one is desire. That desire is not that healthy desire. That desire is lust. Like the lust, you know, have you ever like lusted off of something that you couldn't have? That unhealthy desire that didn't feel good? That's what that is. Woo. Okay. Anger. A lot of us have anger issues. Work on the anger. Go deep on your anger. Talk about your pride. Courage. Anger issues. Work on the anger. Go deep on your anger. Talk about your pride. Courage. That's not the healthy courage. That's like, how can I describe it? Like, we'll skip that one. Don't worry about that. Fear, anger, pride, and then we have neutral. And then you all can also do your energetic inventory on the other ones, but really, really focus on the lower ones, on the lower level emotions. Okay? Cool? Okay, so I had something to say. High frequency is only available once you clear lower frequencies. So we all want to get to the higher frequencies because we want to live expanded lives. We want to live in higher states. We want to attract better opportunities, better money, better men. But you can only get to the higher states once you clear the lower states. Okay? All right. I also said, what else did I say? Most people are trying to manifest from a clogged up, low vibrational field. I told her yesterday about my story with like law of attraction and how I was trying to manifest. And I was like, why is this not working? My field was fucked up. My field was full of low frequency emotions. I had 1,000 browser tabs open around fear and anger and shame and guilt and grief. That's another one. It's not listed here. Grief. Go into your grief. Is it? Oh, okay, Mackenzie. Oh, it is there. My bad. Okay, grief. Yes. Ellie Marie says, when trauma happens, it's important to clear your field all over again. Absolutely. It's that same thing where when bad things happen, we try to push them away. We try to push them out of our consciousness. I'm going to talk about how we start to clear the energy in just a second. But yeah, instead of running from things that hurt us, things that feel bad, things that are uncomfortable, we should be running towards them. exploring them, becoming aware of them, because that's when we can process the energy and they get out of our field. And then instead of beep, beep, beeping our signal into the universe that says grief, we are beep, beeping a signal that says clear. And we're vibrating and resonating with and attracting a very different life. Yes. Oh, love you so much. Thank y'all for the gifts. I can't see them that well, but y'all know I love gifts. I appreciate y'all so much. I'm so happy that y'all are here. I'm so happy that this is resonating. We're in the time where it's time. God has a life for you that's so much better than the one you're living now. It's time. It's not just about you. It's not just about me, but the planet is dependent on us women rising up. I don't think that we're supposed to be moving into a matriarchy in the sense where it's women rule everything. I think it's a time for the divine masculine to rise up and the divine feminine to rise up and co-lead together. So you doing your work over there in your house, wherever you live, and clearing out your stuck energy, clearing your energetic field so that your signal is higher, so you're attracting a very different quality of life, is important to the whole. It's important to the whole. Okay, great. Yes. All right, so let's talk about, I said we must clear to climb, we must feel to heal, and we must touch whatever we have been afraid to touch. Right. Okay, so now to close out today's class, let's talk about the importance. 45 minutes, we've been talking about awareness pretty much, right? Awareness of our stuck energy. But what do we do with that stuck energy? Like I said, awareness is 9/10 law. Just being aware of your energy is processing it mightily. But how do we close out the processing? Let's talk about how to do it. Quo Cousier said powerful. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. Glad. Happy y'all are here. Yes. Okay, so how do we actually start to clear out the energy once we have become aware of it? Repeating the same thing over again until your subconscious, this is my little intro for the last portion, so deal with it. Until your subconscious mind is cleared, you will keep manifesting the same life over and over and over and over, no matter what you say, no matter what you think, no matter how many affirmations you do. You must do this work to clear the way. So how do we clear that out? Thank you, Stella. All right, here we go. Number 1, you must feel it to heal it. Like I said, we have this terrible habit as human beings that when we have something that's uncomfortable, sad, painful, we push it away. We actually need to process that emotion in our energetic field, in our bodies, to clear the energy. So we must feel it. That's how we do it. We must feel to heal. We must feel to heal. Can y'all see okay, so here's my heart chakra. You want to run that painful energy through your heart chakra. That's what you can count as feeling it. Obviously, you know how to feel things, but if you need a technical way of explaining it, you got to process that emotion. You got to process that stuck energy. You got to process that open tab on your browser through your heart chakra. When it goes through your heart chakra, that energy gets cleaned out so it can leave your energetic field. Okay? All right. Another way is, like I always say, a 20-minute walk in nature will help you process the emotion, will help you clear the emotion out of your energetic field. You can also use breath work that will help you clear the emotion out of your energetic field. Remember, my simple way to do breath work is a very long inhale followed by an even longer, very slow exhale. It will help to clear the emotion as you feel it out of your energetic field. A next way is EFT. Have you all heard of EFT? Emotional freedom technique. Let me see if I can prop this up. I probably should have done this 13 hours ago. Okay. Okay, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's kind of amazing. Look it up. Basically, we have energetic meridians all around our body, and if we tap on these energetic meridians while holding that emotion that we want to clear out of our energetic field, that tapping in these points, there are it starts with your side of your hand. They call this the karate chop point. Oh, Miss Crystal, the last time you did EFT, you felt out of control. Yeah, you're probably releasing a lot. Yeah, but maybe it's scary like when you first start out. Okay, so you start with the karate chop point. Look this up. I'm just going to give you a very like simple introduction. This, and then there's like eyebrow, side of eye, underneath the eye, underneath the nose, on the chin, the chest, under your armpit, under your bra line. I do my wrist. Some teachers have taught me to do my wrist, top of the head, and it clears through those meridians. It helps to clear out that energy from your energetic field so you can rise in frequency. Yes, you've heard of it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so EFT is one of the ways you can clear the energy. And my favorite way, and this is going to be your homework for tonight, is burn it up. Our subconscious minds, because of how we, the paths as humans, fire is a very important element. When our subconscious mind sees fire, it thinks transformation. So this is what I want you to do. So many times I've told you all through today's lessons, through day 1 and day 2's lessons, I've had you all be journaling things, right? Journaling your awarenesses, journaling the stuck energy that's coming up. What I want you to do is tonight, take all the questions home, take all the work that we've done so far. Remember, we're clearing space. We're going to be putting new things in this space, but we got to first clear the space. I want you to take all of that journal work, all the questions I've been asking you, all the brain and heart dumps I've been asking you, all the questions I've been asking you. I want you to journal down the most important things that comprise your own stuck energy, and then I want you to burn it up. When you burn it up while breathing, maybe do some EFT, while processing the emotion through your heart chakra, while feeling it to heal it. You burning it up is like a huge sign to your subconscious mind that we're done with this shit. Okay? So your homework, I want you to journal to whatever degree you feel comfortable, and I want you to end with a ritual of burning it up, to let it go. Y'all with it? What do you think? Bunny Banks said, what book are you reading? I'm not reading a book. Girl, I've been doing this stuff for years and years. This is my jam. This is my life. I've been doing this stuff for years and years and years and years and years and years. Okay. Miss Crystal said, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So y'all down? That's your homework tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to do one more section of clearing space. Remember, we must clear the old before we can install the new. So tomorrow we're going to do one more day of clearing the old, and then we're going to start installing something new. So for homework tonight, I want you to clear it up in whatever way you feel comfortable. If fire feels uncomfortable, don't do fire. You can also rip it up into little shreds and stick it in your hand out the freeway so it goes and you can never find those pieces again. Whatever way you feel comfortable. Okay? Before I go, can you get the picture behind me? Yes. Everybody get a screenshot of the chart of consciousness. You can also just look this up, but power versus force. But here you go. No. Dang. Here you go. Can y'all see that? There you go. Did y'all get it? Yay! Okay, everybody go do your work. Tomorrow, we'll be back here 5 o'clock PST for day 4? Is it really day 4? Am I tripping? Anyway, for tomorrow, where we'll do our last bit of clearing before we install the new into your consciousness. Y'all ready? Yay! All right. Follow me for more. Oh, by the way, if you like this stuff, I am teaching a workshop on the 26th of June where, I can only teach you so much in an hour a day, but we're going to go much deeper. The title of the workshop is How to Rewire Your Consciousness, Your Nervous System for Safety. How to rewire your nervous system for safety so that you can get out of your masculine energy and into your divine feminine energy. And we're going to go deeper into my process to rewire your nervous system for safety. So it's only $99, 20 seats. If you like that, link is in my bio. If not, meet you here at 5 o'clock PST. Okay? This has been a pleasure, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. My pleasure. Bye.